Hey, what's up, guys? We're going to dive right into a collective message around the divine masculines, and I haven't done one of these in a while, but I want to dig into why your masculines may be silent. Okay, if many of you may be dealing with separation energy or feeling like there's been a prolonged silence between you two, it's usually for good reason. Okay, so if you're in that energy of like impatience as well, try to release and know that something's happening for your highest good in the separation. Okay, so messages and communication is coming through. Okay, but I'm hearing allow it. Okay, we also have nurture and compassion, so maybe you're being called to have more compassion for this person. And if you actually release the need to feel like I need to be in control of when they're going to communicate again, or I need to know, and maybe you're feeling frustrated digging through lots of readings with messages in there and, travel, Mercury energy. It could be just an influx of, what ifs, and your energy keeps shifting. I feel like the universe is saying maybe even just have compassion for yourself right now. Okay, because communication is coming. Somebody's isolating because they're in their thoughts over something, but I'm hearing that they need to sort it out. It's nothing that you can do, and I feel like if any of you are tempted to push by like texting or reaching out, or if they've left you on like red and then you kind of reach back out, it's like give it space. Just give it space. You ghost for once, I feel like is the advice here. Okay, because with somebody isolating, I feel like the best thing that you can do to make them feel that sense of safety is by honoring their space. Many of you might feel the exact opposite energy, which is, well, I don't want to make them feel like they're alone, or that I'm not thinking about them, or I don't care about them. It's like, no, they very well know that, and I feel like the best way that you actually can demonstrate that is by trusting them. Right, is by demonstrating that trust, that it's like, hey, you obviously look like you need a timeout, and I'm gonna give that to you, and what I'm not gonna do is be all bitter when you come back. I'm just gonna be cool because I understand that you might just need that space. Okay, what's the message for the divine feminines right now? If this is your masculine needing space, what's your best advice? Okay, there we go with that sabotage here. Okay, so be very mindful of that. Okay, getting into a place of guilt, feeling like, I'm going to sabotage this connection by reaching out, or feeling like I'm going to guilt this person into messaging me back, or giving into the games, or feeling like they're playing games. A lot of the times the reality of it is that poor communication, like somebody didn't learn to communicate very well. Okay, running is easier than talking about your feelings, right? Running's a lot easier than having that uncomfortable conversation about how you're feeling about things. This is definitely somebody who didn't grow up with that, right? They may have been lacking as well. I feel like a mother figure in their life, so don't be surprised if they don't really have like a really close relationship with their mom, right? Because usually that's the role of like the mother, to make their son feel safe, to be able to confide in them, and to be able to nurture a compassionate and sweet relationship. I feel like growing up, your masculines didn't get that, like, my sweet little boy. They didn't get that, okay? They had a mom that was very cold, distant, always wanting to just spend time with their husband. It's like, oh, never mind the kids, or the kids are so annoying, or like, oh, kids are so much work. That's the energy that they grew up in, or the house they grew up in. They were really lacking that, like, honey, come on, kick your feet up. Are you ready for dinner time? Like, I mean, a lot of you as the divine feminines listening, like, you're just like, bro, I'm that kind of mom. Like, come on, honey. Okay, I feel too like that's just more of like a new thing that's happening because many of us are just so damn aware of like the trauma that can be inflicted upon us now that we're just like extra careful with our parenting. But, some of the divine masculines that we may be dealing with, like, I'm telling you guys, that's the reality. Right? Like they're dealing with a mom who was maybe like a wine mom, right? It's like no kind of connection with the kids. You just let them watch TV. They come home from school. It's like they kind of just take care of themselves. You don't cook anything. They just make themselves a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go to their room. And, they didn't get that, like, hey, get up, soccer practice, 10 minutes, let's go. And you cheer the heck out of them at the games. It, like, a lot of them grew up in homes where it's like there was coldness there, especially with I'm hearing like the mother figure, and a lot of the times the father was just busy working, and even when they were around, it was just like everybody's expected to just do what they need to do to keep the house running, right? So many of you may be dealing with a masculine who, like, you trigger that within them. You're too motherly, okay? That's why the compassion and nurture card came out. That's why they need the space. You have to do the exact opposite and actually let the trigger sink in by not chasing after them and letting them sink into that feeling. Because the more you run after them and the more you try to nurture them, the more you remind them of like, oh shit, I don't know what to do with this. It's never happened before. Can I trust it? You know, sometimes your niceness can kind of kill things out. Sometimes it's like, give them the boundary, right? Because as much as we know, like when we are with our kids, it's not necessarily that we spoil them just because we say, you know, who's mama's boy? You know, we still, you know, hood. Like even with me at home with my son, you know, I'm still, you know, assertive when I need to be so that I raise a responsible human being. In fact, I was joking with a friend the other day about like the accent too, the Trini accent. Like I'll go into my son's room and I'll be like, okay, honey, time to turn off Roblox and get ready for shower. You know, it's like 10 minutes later, he's still on Roblox. But let me go in there with my Trini accent. If I do see that laptop shut down and you jump in that shower, you will see our next side of me, eh? If I say it like that, man, you see how fast he turn off laptop and everything and jump in shower. So, you know, there's that fine balance of being able to just like nurture, have that compassion, love on your kids and still be assertive in that way. I feel like your masculines just literally got the assertive side of like that nurturing energy growing up. And many of you might feel this. You might be like, shit, Twintuitive, this mirrors my own mom, right? Many of you might be like, and instead I chose not to be cold and run from it. Instead, I chose to like be that mom who was like kick ass with my kids. Well, you're dealing with a divine masculine who chose to be like, shit, that stuff doesn't exist, you know? So the best thing you literally can do is just let the trigger sink in and let them have like their moment of silence. Like let the triggers of you being that way and reminding them of the fact that it's like, shit, I really need to work stuff out and I need to like separate what I grew up with versus like what I want for myself. You know, and at the end of the day, like they do see that it's like I have this gift in front of me and I'm effing it up because of my past, you know? So yeah, guilt and sabotage energy, have faith in them that they're able to just rebuild that structure within them and gain that stability. And the best thing you can do is remember that, you know, you've been there, you've done that, and you were able to choose and do better for yourself. Okay, there's going to be a rebirth of this connection, I feel like, in the best way possible once I feel like you get this insight, because maybe you feel like you really are doing your best by trying to nurture and compassion, but it's good to be able to do that at a distance as well. Sometimes nurture and compassion means that tough love, right? It means saying, okay, fine, go off on your own for a while. I'm not talking either, okay? And then you guys kind of, you know, go off and, you know, you spend your own time and you calm down. Sometimes you don't need anybody breathing down your neck as you're trying to calm down, or you don't like people reaching out, and it might bring out the worst side of you because you lash out, you know? So I feel like the rebirth that's happening with the both of you right now through this message is just an understanding, like an understanding of the separation, the silence, the distance, and now your energy is going to shift divine feminine, where you are going to get that communication from your masculines because you're going to feel that release. You're going to feel that release of you letting go and that trust of saying, okay, I trust you to make the right decision in terms of taking accountability for your triggers, because you can't run every single time I try to give you love, dude. Like, it's not making any sense, right? So instead of hurting yourself by letting him lash out at you, like, give that silence and that space all the time in the world that it needs. Okay, so I don't know who this was for, but I hope it was insightful. If you guys are going through silence, separation, you need someone to talk it out with, hit me up on Hipsy, okay? You guys can literally pick up the phone, give me a call, and we could duke it out. Not duke it out, but, you know, give you guys just a space to unwind and hear it from, you know, someone who's been through it also. All right? I love you guys. Take it easy. I will catch you in the next one, okay? Take care. Bye, guys.